Khazarian mafia play Trump blackmail card in final bid to avoid extermination. The Khazarian mafia is in state of a deep panic as more and more people, including many Jews, wake up to their horrors. That is why they are playing their trump card by blackmailing US President Donald Trump into sabotaging the restoration of the US Republic and preventing the start of military tribunals, say Pentagon and MI6 sources. Trump is also going along with his son-in-law Jared Kushner's Shabbat plan 2,800 Gojim slaves for each Jew to start World War III with the war on Iran, the sources say. The result is that US military intelligence are coming to the conclusion that Trump must go. Donald Trump is a Pentagon peacetime president, so there is a significant military intelligence presence around him. Really, we don't want either him or the other one, but we had to put in one so the Bush stuff could come through, was what a high-level military intelligence source explained. The result was that Barbara Bush and George Bush Sr. was executed for treason, the source says. However, now that Trump has placed Bush Sr.-era Attorney General William Barr as Attorney General again, he has let out a sigh for all to read that he will not be going after the perpetrators of September 11th or any more members of the Bush-Clinton crime family. Trump also has been blocking military tribunals and other forms of justice from moving forward, Pentagon sources say. Many people, including this writer, hoped Trump would be the liberator of the U.S. However, Trump's hiring of radical neocon warmongers like Jeff Bolton and convicted criminals like Elliot Abrams have forced us to realize that Trump is damaged goods. If you want another sign that something is seriously wrong with the Trump presidency, ask yourself why Trump is trying to transfer nuclear weapons technology to the rogue state of Saudi Arabia. Pentagon sources say he is doing this on the part of his Jabhat masters in order to start a nuclear world war by having Saudi Arabia nuke Iran. The reason for these unnatural Trump actions is serious blackmail, both Pentagon and MI6 sources say. Specifically, they say Trump is on film bashing in a child's head. This is something both senior British and US military intelligence sources confirm. There is now corroborating evidence coming forward in public. The Miami Herald, in particular, has been doing real journalistic work by exposing convicted pedophile Jeff Epstein, whose orgy Island Trump has frequented. Now a judge has ruled that Trump's Labor Secretary Alexander Acosta broke the law when he let Epstein off lightly on pedophilia charges. When asked about it, Trump said, "I don't know much about it. He's done a great job as Labor Secretary. That seems like a long time ago." This, by the way, is what Trump had to say about Epstein. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do. And many of them are on the younger side. Wake up and smell the coffee, folks. Trump has become an obstacle to justice in the US. Not only that, he has publicly joined the radical Chabad fanatics who have been trying to start World War III for decades. My question is why doesn't the military grab Abrams, Bonton, Kushner, etc., and put them in jail where they belong? Also, why don't they find the video with which Trump is being blackmailed and use it to force him to resign? You can start that search by questioning Epstein. In any case, despite Trump's unnatural turnaround on issues like September 11th, Pentagon sources say he has been forced by the military to take action against lower-ranking figures. Zionists have been targeted after Trump met with military brass in October 2017 to unleash the storm with Harvey Weinstein, then Las Vegas casino king Steve Weinberg, then CBS Titan Les Movers, and now billionaire New England Patriots owner Bob Kraft, and more. Also, Mossad espionage operations to help Jewish criminals have also been neutralized with the shutdown of BSY Group and the exposure of Black Cube, as well as Pegasus spyware, Pentagon sources say. Furthermore, the gay Bolton flunky and Israeli shield Richard Grenell was rejected as UN ambassador. The sources note, the removal of senior pedophile Catholic cardinals is another positive sign that the Khazarian mafia pedophile blackmail network is being dismantled. The defrocking last week of sex predator ex-cardinal of DC, Ted McCarrick, is now likely to be followed by the defrocking of convicted pedophile Cardinal George Pell, former head of the Vatican Bank, the sources say. The Khazarian mafia is fighting back by seeking Chinese protection and sponsorship. Trump was able to end the U.S. government shutdown and get funds to keep the Washington, D.C. apparatus running by offering the Chinese control of Japan and the Korean Peninsula, according to Japanese right-wing sources close to the emperor. As a part of this deal, U.S. forces will withdraw from Japan to Korea to Hawaii, the sources say. This will come up for discussion when Trump meets this week with North Korean strongman Kim Jong-un, they say. Asian secret society sources independently confirm that yes, indeed, control of Japan has been promised to China. They say the only thing the election of Trump did was delay this deal, which had already been negotiated by Hillary Clinton. Another sign of the Khazarian mafia sucking up to the Chinese was seen last week when Saudi clone Prince Mohammed bin Salman visited China. He was able to get some rent money out of China by offering to build a giant refinery there and by promising to teach Chinese to all Saudi Arabian school children. He also showed he was a fake Muslim and by endorsing China's placing of Uyghur Muslims into concentration camps. The Saudi and American branches of the Khazarian mafia also are seeking Chinese protection because the Jews are finally figuring out that Khazarians are their worst enemy. If you have not seen it yet, please check out this short YouTube video by long-term, high-ranking U.S. government official Steve Bissenick. Bissenick immediately confirms that many sources have been telling me over the years Jews working for Adolf Hitler and Nazis were killing their fellow Jews during World War II. This all was part of an effort to force Jews out of Europe and into Israel in order to create a kingdom there for the Khazarian mafia. The fact that the Jews are waking up to this terrible crime against them in the name of Zionism has put the Khazarian mafia into a state of deep fear. This can be seen in the move by the Rothschild slave French President Emmanuel Macron to make anti-Zionism a criminal offense. Somebody should remind Macron about what happened to Nicole Ceausescu of Romania or Italy's Benito Mussolini after they tried to ramp up repression in order to stop a popular revolt against their rule. On a final note, this week, we got a lot of feedback concerning our report of an attempt to cash high-level bonds last week in the name of Dr. Svonko Burdick Albert. Asian Secret Society sources said Dr. Albert was a con artist and not a real doctor. They say at one point he illegally accessed Plum Blossom, Mayhew funds that close to 50 Chinese generals were subsequently executed as a result. They say Dr. Albert was executed because he caused suffering to many people. However, the sponsors of the bond counter by saying he was originally on the wrong side, but then devoted the last 10 years of his life to doing only the right thing and thus was hunted by the cabal. He was a good and decent guy, thought, and wanted to see the trust be used only for the best interest of the people. He put his foot down against the cabal in the last years of his life. Since we have taken the helm, we have repositioned its direction from its past. Putting Scott in place of Dr. Albert is purely for mankind, and he has been fighting the good fight and cause for the last 10 years. We will only do the right, equitable thing for humanity as a whole. The people who try to cash this instrument seem sincere and well-intentioned. However, it looks like the move on the bond was a covert attempt to buy out influential truth seekers by offering them vast sums for humanitarian purposes. The problem, of course, is that it perpetuates the system of having a secret group use its abilities to create money out of thin air in order to bribe or pay to have neutralized any opposition to their rule. The ultimate answer is still to make the creation and distribution of money a publicly run utility, not a secret source of godlike power for a self-selected few.